So, welcome to a brand new webisode. I'm here in my office at home and I'm tired. Not because I'm physically tired, because I'm mentally tired. First off, I got to apologize to anybody listening to the show on Tuesday. I need to apologize for wasting as much time as I did on the stupid, not a fan of the John Justice Show fan club page that was created. And I apologize from the standpoint of, I guess for me personally, I wish I hadn't wasted that much time on it when all's said and done. It probably was somewhat humorous. But at the end of the day, I'm sitting back going, I could have been talking about a whole bunch of other issues, including this stack of stuff, a lot of which I didn't even get to today because I spent too much time talking about the stupid not a fan of the fan club page. What's interesting about the page that was created, about the only thing interesting, was who it's comprised of. It was created by somebody who disagrees with me in regards to the Brian Miller GOP email that sparked me talking about the Jose Guarena shooting, SWAT, and all this. They agree with me on pretty much everything else except this issue. I'm finding this out on a lot of different levels, by the way. So it's made up of the people that created it, who for the most part used to listen to the show, but suddenly find them disagreeing with me on this one issue. So now they've created an anti-John Justice page. Yeah. Then there are the individuals who signed up for it or asked to be a part of the group just because they thought it was funny and as stupid as I did. And then it's made up of liberals who genuinely don't like me and probably who the people that created the page disagree with 100% of the time, as opposed to the 95 to 98% of the time they disagree with me over this. And it's fascinating to me to see how quickly people will turn on somebody who they pretty much agree with on almost all the other issues. You know, I now know what it's like to be a politician who has one particular issue who some people don't agree with, and they just cancel them out completely. Much like a politician, you're never going to find the perfect talk show host. However, I am not a politician, and people seem to forget this. You didn't elect me. I'm hired to do a job. It's my job to do the most entertaining show that I can, providing my opinions and commentary on things, and hopefully you'll watch. This is how I put food on the table. You can't vote me out of office, and I'm not crafting legislation or making decisions for a certain part of the population. I'm just giving my opinion in the end. Ultimately, though, I wanted to say this, and I was having a conversation with somebody on the way home about the issue of Jose Guarena again. I'm going to be 100% upfront. I don't care about the situation in regards to Jose Guarena. I really don't. And you can get mad at me for saying that. And it doesn't really bother me. You're entitled to your opinion, and I'm entitled to mine. I don't care about the Jose Guarena situation for this reason. I'm personally never going to be in a situation like Jose Guarena. Even if somebody wants to make the argument, well, what if SWAT shows up at your door at the wrong house? I can pretty much guarantee with almost 100% certainty that it's never, ever, ever going to happen in my lifetime. Okay. I don't necessarily care that much about the Jose Guarena situation because I give the benefit of the doubt to police officers. I do. Now, will mistakes be made? Sure. But police officers aren't perfect. Neither are our military. But I give our military benefit of the doubt in most every circumstance as well. Now, if SWAT did something wrong, they'll be held accountable. But in the meantime, other than that, I don't personally think anything would change or should change. Why? Because I give police the benefit of the doubt. Just like I would give military the benefit of the doubt. For those that are crying foul over the Constitution and the idiots online who keep talking about how John doesn't respect the Constitution, apparently Frank Antinori doesn't respect the Constitution either. Because you're talking about the Fourth Amendment, and I agree with what Frank Antinori had to say. And that is, when the judge issued the search warrant, the issue of the Fourth Amendment went out the window. Unreasonable search and seizure is no longer an issue. The judge granted the right for SWAT or whatever law enforcement entity to go knocking on that door in that particular circumstance. Now, for those that are frustrated with me or mad at me. That's fine. But ultimately, you need to decide. Are you going to suddenly not become friends with somebody just because you happen to disagree on one issue? I mean, I have friends of mine, and if they were to call me up and say, dude, I believe in aliens, I totally believe there's life on other planets and that we've been visited and abducted by aliens, I'd be like, yeah, you're kind of crazy, but I'm still going to be your friend. Kind of like what I did with Brian Miller. I don't think he should be the Pima County GOP chair. I personally believe that he leans libertarian or he may just be a libertarian, even though he's registered a Republican. But I think that because of the fact that he is more in line with, say, Ron Paul and the libertarian line of thinking, he doesn't need to be, or isn't properly suited to be the Pima County GOP chair. It doesn't mean I won't be friends with the guy. It doesn't mean I won't be cordial with him. We're just going to disagree on this issue. And it's an important issue. I think most people would agree that my saying he shouldn't be chair of the Pima County GOP, of which I am a card-carrying member of, is kind of a big deal. Sure it is. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to be friends with him anymore. I'm not going to start a page. I'm no fan of Brian Miller. I'm not a fan of Brian Miller being the Pima County GOP because that's just silly and not productive. Side note, by the way, the page is boring. I was expecting some good insight and intellect. It's like the same four people talking with each other. So now I'm doing this on a webisode for a reason. And the reason I'm doing this on a webisode is because I really don't want to waste my time doing it on the show. I really don't. I've wasted enough time on this already when there's other issues that I want to talk about. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I don't believe that I am, and I've never claimed to be. What's been frustrating for me, and what a lot of people wouldn't be able to relate to, and this is not a "oh, woe is me" story to try to make you feel bad or anything. It's just the reality of the situation. Many of you don't know what it's like to be a talk show host. That's fine. I don't pretend to know that I know what it's like to be a cop or somebody working at Raytheon or any other place for that matter. But again, getting back to why I did this on the webisode and not on the air is just because, I really don't want to be dealing much more with it. I'm a human being just like everybody else, and I have feelings, and I don't want to let this garbage get to me. But think about when you're on Facebook and somebody disagrees with you on something and you go and take it personally. Now take that and multiply it by like 3,500 friends, or not even that much. Multiply that by like 100. The number of people online who question my I don't want to say patriotism, but question how I feel about the Constitution, saying I don't respect it, and issues like that. People just basically get all their information wrong because they're hearing it secondhand or they aren't listening to what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to deal with, but it's part of the job. It's why I get paid a decent salary, and it gives me the ability to, having to deal with that is part of what puts food on my table for my family and a roof over our heads, and gives me everything here in this room. And also dealing with that, and let me do this is a kind of a positive for me. Dealing with all these issues too also comes the good stuff, right? Articles in the LA Times, nominations for a Marconi Award, Best of Tucson 2 years in a row, up-and-comers out of Inside Tucson Business, and listeners that make cool art, if you will, like that for me. So it makes it worth having to deal with the jackasses. Doesn't make it any easier dealing with the jackasses, but at the end of the day, it makes it worth dealing with the jackasses. Oh, that's like a little weight lifted off my shoulders. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And I'm not going to waste my time on the not a fan of the John Justice Show fan club page. By the way, there is a new public figure page because I'm going to end up, and I already made this decision, I'm going to end up getting rid of the fan club page eventually. So above this link, if you're on 1041thetruth.com, hit the like button, hit the link, and go to the Facebook page, hit the like button for the new John Justice Show page. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.